This paper introduces the recursive structural step ontology, a process-based framework that interprets existence as the recursive generation of structured threshold events rather than static substances or undifferentiated flux. A structural step is defined as an event in which energetic asymmetry crosses a critical threshold and yields metastable stabilization. Persistent organization emerges when stabilization redistributes energetic relations and generates renewed asymmetry, enabling recursive continuation, drawing on non-equilibrium thermodynamics, quantum transitions, and biological metabolism. This framework proposes structural homology across scales without reducing higher-level phenomena to lower-level mechanics. Entropy is interpreted as the boundary condition of recursive sustainability rather than mere disorder. Temporality is treated as emergent from ordered structural succession. RSSO integrates process philosophy with thermodynamic constraint into a coherent ontological model of structured becoming. Western metaphysics has historically oscillated between substance ontology and radical process ontology. Substance, metaphysics, privileges, stability, and identity. Process philosophy emphasizes becoming and flux. However, pure flux fails to explain structural persistence, while pure stability cannot account for transformation. Non-equilibrium thermodynamics demonstrates that ordered structures emerge under sustained energy gradients, yet the ontological implications of threshold-driven organization remain underdeveloped. The central question becomes, under what structural conditions does organized persistence occur? This paper proposes that existence consists of recursively generated structural steps. Organization is neither static substance nor undifferentiated flow, but threshold-mediated recurrence under asymmetrical conditions. A structural step is defined by three inseparable components: energetic asymmetry, difference, or gradient, threshold transition, critical reconfiguration, and metastable stabilization, temporary structural persistence. Energetic asymmetry alone produces dispersion. Threshold without stabilization produces instability. Stabilization without renewed asymmetry leads to equilibrium and termination. A structural step occurs when asymmetry crosses a critical threshold and produces metastable organization. Ontologically, the structural step replaces substance as the minimal unit of organized being. It is not a thing, but a structured event capable of recursive continuation. An isolated structural step follows asymmetry, threshold stabilization. However, stabilization redistributes energetic conditions, producing renewed asymmetry. This enables recursive continuation. Step gives step gives step gives. Persistence emerges through recursive regeneration rather than static endurance. Dissipative structures maintain order through continuous energy throughput. Such systems operate far from equilibrium, depend on sustained gradients, undergo critical transitions, maintain metastable configurations. Within RSSO, energetic asymmetry corresponds to thermodynamic gradients. Threshold transitions correspond to phase shifts or critical reorganizations. Metastable stabilization corresponds to dynamically sustained order. Absolute equilibrium implies termination of recursive structural activity. Quantum systems exhibit discrete energy states. Transitions occur only when quantized thresholds are satisfied. Each transition includes energy differential, threshold crossing, stabilized configuration. Atomic persistence is therefore dynamic, structural recursion at microphysical scale. Living systems intensify recursive structural stepping through metabolism. Each metabolic cycle includes gradient, activation, stabilization. When energy throughput ceases, recursive cycling collapses and structure dissolves. Life exemplifies metastable recursive organization under thermodynamic constraint. Entropy is interpreted as the limit condition at which recursive structural regeneration fails. When gradients weaken below threshold conditions, activation ceases, stabilization fails, recursive continuity terminates. Entropy, therefore, marks structural exhaustion rather than simple disorder. RSSO does not assume time as a pre-existing container. Temporal ordering emerges from structural succession. Step gives step gives step. Without structured succession, temporal differentiation becomes unintelligible. Temporality is structurally emergent from recursive organization. RSSO proposes structural homology across domains without reductive collapse. Quantum transitions chemical reactions, metabolic cycles, and neural activations share structural logic. Asymmetry, threshold, stabilization, recursion, higher-level phenomena exhibit analogous recursive dynamics under distinct constraints. RSSO integrates thermodynamic constraint with process philosophy. Structural homology does not eliminate domain-specific complexity. The framework remains grounded in established scientific theory. Across atomic thermodynamic and biological domains, organized persistence emerges only under recursive threshold structuring. Being is not static substance. Flux alone is insufficient. Recursive structural transition is ontologically fundamental.